Outlander Season 7 hasn't even ended yet, with Part 2 set to release on November 22nd this year. But we already have some updates about Season 8, and these updates confirm one thing: Outlander's final season won't end as we all thought. Outlander has mostly stayed true to Diana Gabaldon's books, turning each book into a season of the show. But the series is set to end with Season 8, which means the last 2 books of Gabaldon's series won't be fully covered on TV. This has caused some concerns for fans of the books, and with good reason. Based on the latest update from Gabaldon, the show will have a different ending compared to the books, so it really won't resemble the end of the book series. The Outlander series began in 1991 with the first book, Outlander. Now, over 30 years later, Gabaldon is close to finishing her 10-book series. The 9th novel, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, was released in 2021, and the 10th is still being written, but the show is moving ahead with Season 8, which will be its last. And because the final novel hasn't even been published yet, this leaves the show with more material than it can fit into its 10-episode final season. Gabaldon has been open about the fact that the showrunners will need to pick and choose which parts of the last 3 books will make it to the screen. This means fans will not get to see the same ending for the series as in the books, something that may upset fans who hoped for a true-to-book conclusion. What makes this even more complicated is the confirmation that new characters will be added in Season 8. This includes Kieran Bew as a retired British soldier named Charles Cunningham, Frances Tomalty as his mother Ezelpeth, and Carla Woodcock as Amaranthus Grey. While these characters seem interesting, I'm surprised that the show is introducing new faces at this stage, especially in the final season, which will only have 10 episodes. It feels strange to add more characters when there's already so much story to wrap up. This decision to bring in new people raises concerns about whether Season 8 will be able to focus on tying up all the loose ends in a satisfying way. Throughout Outlander's run, each season has covered 1 book in Gabaldon's series. But Season 8 will need to handle 3 books: Written in My Own Heart's Blood, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, and parts of the unpublished 10th book. Trying to fit 3 long novels into just 10 episodes feels like an overwhelming task. Gabaldon's novels are known for their depth, often running over 1,000 pages, which makes it even harder to see how everything will fit into such a short final season. When the plans for the finale first came out, Gabaldon seemed confident, which eased some of the initial concerns. She assured readers that the showrunners would select the threads that worked best for the TV adaptation. But hearing about the addition of at least 3 new characters makes me question whether the final season will be able to streamline the story in a meaningful way. These new characters could either take up too much time or end up with too small a role to matter. Either way, it doesn't seem like a good fit for the last chapter of such a beloved show. The biggest challenge, though, is not the new characters, but the sheer amount of story Season 8 has to cover. Besides wrapping up Claire and Jamie's journey, the show also needs to address the lives of other key characters, like Brianna Mackenzie and Roger, who have their own storylines set in a different time period. In Season 7, Part 2, we're still waiting to see how their stories unfold, and all this will need to come together in the final season. It's understandable why fans are worried about how Season 8 will manage everything. Adding new characters like the Cunninghams and Amaranthus Grey only adds more complexity. In Gabaldon's 9th novel, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, Charles Cunningham and his mother, Ezelpeth, move to the Ridge, where they become a threat to Jamie and the rebels. Charles, a retired British captain, dreams of raising an army to take on the rebels, and his presence strengthens the British loyalists. This makes him an important character, and it's not clear how much time the show will be able to dedicate to his plotline without overshadowing the main characters. Amaranthus Grey also plays a significant role in the novels. She's connected to Lord John Grey and William Ransom, both of whom are central to the overall Outlander storyline. Her connection to William in particular adds another layer to his character's development. However, with so much already happening in Season 8, it's hard to see how the show can give her the depth she has in the books without feeling rushed. If these new characters are kept in minor roles, the show could avoid feeling overcrowded. But given their significance in the books, it's hard to imagine them not having a larger presence. Season 8 already has to cover a lot of ground, and adding more characters and subplots risks taking away from the main focus of Claire and Jamie's story. Another issue is how Season 8 will handle the events from the 9th and 10th novels. There are many key moments that need to happen for the story to reach a satisfying conclusion. For example, Jamie and Claire's relationship has always been at the heart of the series, and their story needs to be wrapped up in a way that honors their journey. The challenge will be balancing their story with all the other characters and plot lines. Outlander has a lot to live up to in its final season. The show has been a fan favorite for years, and the characters have become beloved by audiences. It's clear that the writers and Gabaldon want to give the show a proper ending, but with so much to juggle, there's a risk that the final season could feel rushed or incomplete. Fans are right to be concerned, especially with the news that the ending won't match the book series. Gabaldon has said that the showrunners will create an ending that works for the TV version of the story. This could mean that some major plot points from the books are left out, or that certain characters don't get the same amount of screen time they have in the novels. While this might make sense for the show, it could be disappointing for fans who have followed the books closely and were hoping for a more faithful adaptation. With Season 7 Part 2 yet to air, we still have some time before we see how the final season will play out. But based on the information we have so far, it's clear that Outlander Season 8 won't end the way we expected. The introduction of new characters, the massive amount of story to cover, and the decision to deviate from the books all point to a final season that could be very different from what fans imagined. There's still hope that Season 8 will deliver a satisfying conclusion, but with so much to wrap up, it's hard not to worry. As we wait for the final chapter of Claire and Jamie's journey, all we can do is hope that the showrunners make the right choices and give the series the ending it deserves.